I hate it, bro. You know what I say? If the WWE wants to save money, and I've been saying this for the last 2 years, bro. Bro, remember what movie was it? Remember Mary Poppins, bro? You know, Sean, you know, bro. You and I remember remember Mary Poppins with Julie Andrews,
Dick Van Dyke.
And remember then the animated animals would come out and dance and sing. Remember that, bro?
Yes.
Bro, listen, here's my Paul Heyman idea. Bro, make him an animated character on the TV because he's a cartoon anyway. So have him come out with Roman, but he's animated, bro. This way, you don't got to pay him. You don't got to pay for the trans. You don't got to pay for the plane fare. Let him just be a cartoon, bro, because that's what he kills it for me. He kills it for me with the over-the-top faces and overacting and the hand. Oh, my, bro. And what does it go back to? You know what it goes back to, Sean? Nobody would act that way. That's what it goes back to. Nobody would ever act that way. Only in wrestling, bro.
Really? So you think that after being on the television for like 10 years that you wouldn't come out every week and tell the crowd what your name was?
Bro, it drives me nuts.
Okay, here's my new pet peeve. Not even pet peeve. This makes it where I have to mute Raw.
Do you pull inspiration to create these things? Is it movies, other shows, books? I mean, where can you possibly get the inspiration to write that many storylines every single week and then continue on week after week?
Bro, I say this all the time. It is not rocket science. And if you're doing it the right way, it writes itself. And let me really break it down to you to how simple it could be. Because, you know, when I had my success during the Attitude Era, you got to remember there were two guys. It was me and Ferrara. We wrote the whole show. We brought it to Vince. He would put in his little nuances, but that was the show. Nothing changed the day of the show. That was the show. I would send it out to all the talent before they even got to the arena. That was the show. Well, we've gone from that to 57 writers.
Unbelievable.
Here's how simple it is. And this is why I'm not a rocket science. Here's how simple it is. You create characters. Okay. And I mean, you create real characters. You know everything about those characters. You know what they eat, when they shit, when you know these characters inside and out. You know how they're going to act under every circumstance, and they become real. When I would write for a character, I would put myself in the boots of Stone Cold Steve Austin, in the boots of Kevin Nash, in the boots of Shawn Michaels. I became that character when I was writing for them. So now, if you've got characters developed, now you look at, okay, bro, depending on their characters, what's going to be a compelling story? What two characters are going to meld together and really tell a great story? Because what happens is, bro, there's a huge difference, man. When Ed Ferrara and myself were there, you had writers writing a television show. Aside from that time, bro, you've got bookers booking a wrestling show. And here's the difference. When you've got honest to goodness television writers, they create the character, they create the story, and through the characters and the story, the match develops. It develops organically. Bro, it's the complete opposite when you got bookers writing wrestling. What they look at first is what's going to be the best match. If we put so-and-so in there with so-and-so, that's going to be the best match. And then they try to make sense out of that match. They try to make sense. They try to make sense. Meanwhile, you create the characters and the story first, and now organically we're getting to the match. It's not rocket science, bro. And I say this all the time. It writes itself, because here's what used to happen. If I ever used to get stuck, I would sit right at my desk and say, okay, if this were real, what would happen? It's that simple. If this were real, how would these people react? And that's why back then it was so real and you believed it because you really stayed true to the characters. That's gone, bro. Like that, man, I get so depressed because I watch some great television with great characters. And then you put on this wrestling show and you've got 20-minute matches where they're making the match in the back. Okay, that's how matches are made. We bump into each other in the back. We got a match. Then you've got a 15-minute match where you already know the outcome before the bell rings. So that's what it's become, and that's the frustrating part to me, man, because I don't know how it went sideways so quickly.
What do you? Is there anything they're doing right? Like, what do you think of like the bloodline angle? What do you like now?
You know, Sean, I got to be honest with you. I'm not like these other people. I'm not going to lower the bar. Okay, everybody has lowered the bar because the bloodline was the only story across both shows. This was now the greatest story in the history. No, it's not, bro. It's about a family that and there's fighting within. We've seen it a billion times, but it has been so lowered. I got to tell you something that includes Kevin. Kevin's going to appreciate this. Bro, WWE was getting so bad with TL Hopper, Freddie Joe Floyd, who, what, where, when. And bro, I'm watching with Eric and Kevin and Scott are doing with the NWO. And I'm like, holy shit. I am calling Kevin and Jeff Jarrett, begging them to get me on the phone with Bischoff, begging them. I so wanted out because they were doing it. And Kevin, I will never forget this, bro. At the time, bro, I was a junior writer. Cornette and Bruce were the writers of the show. I was sitting in, as a student, and I'll never forget that, bro. I would sit there every week and I would say to myself, do you guys understand how much this sucks as you're writing it on the page? Like, do you not see it? This is horrible. Kevin, I'm at Bruce's house when Hogan comes out. And I'll never forget, bro. I'm at Bruce's house and I said it out loud. Bruce was right there. I'm like, bro, we're fucked. Like, game over. Like, this is over. We are so far on the opposite side of what they're doing, bro. I knew, like, 83 weeks, it was over, bro. Over.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was. It took them to the point of like almost going bankrupt to go, okay, we got to change things.
Yeah, they were in the red, bro. People don't understand that. They were in the red at that point.
Yeah.
David, did you have more?
No, not really. I just wanted to follow up with, nowadays, like you said, there's 100 writers in there. It seems like when there was just the two of you or three of you with the other Vince overlooking it, things got done better quality, quicker. And now with all the writers, maybe they can't agree on one thing. Maybe they're all off doing something else. But the theory would be the more writers there are, the more content there would be. But it's just the opposite.
Because they're running into each other. Like Kevin said, bro, that writing schedule, there isn't enough time to have 30 people involved. There just isn't enough time because now I'm going to pitch it to you and you're going to give me your pitch back and then you're not going to like what I'm pitching. Meanwhile, the days of the week are passing by. All of a sudden, bro, it's Monday and we don't have anything and Vince is rewriting the show at the last minute. It is not conducive to having 20 writers when you are writing 2 live television shows every week.
Yeah. You know what they're asking in the chat, Vince? They want to know what you think of Paul Heyman with Bloodline.